On this episode of Pimp My Gun, we'll be taking the explosive crossbow under barrel attachment and unleashing it on the undead. And to do that, we'll be using these augments and these gobblegums. Let's go test it out. So here at the start of season 2, we got yet another under barrel attachment added into the game. So now we have a under barrel crossbow attachment that is also explosive. And if you're not familiar with our Pimp My Gun series, I have gone through and used all of the under barrel attachments, and the under barrel grenade launcher is absolutely insane, especially on this map, and I'll get into why later. But for right now, let's go ahead and see just what kind of damage it can do. Base, no pack-a-punch, no upgrades. Enjoy that, zombie. So it insta-killed them. Just the arrow killed, and then the explosive went off, made 2 crawlers, and one's at half health. One lost like about a fourth, and the other one didn't get touched by it. Do I take self-explosive damage? I definitely do, and that did a lot, actually. That took half my health. So, although that is a bit exciting for how this thing can do damage-wise, I am a bit nervous to take myself out. But can we collat with it? Doesn't look like it, but it took the rest of them out. That explosive range is going to be pretty good for us. And there's a few things that I want to see if this behaves differently from our other under barrel attachments. One thing I want to see is if there's any melee damage to it, since it does kind of have a point on it, kind of similar to a bayonet. And I want to see if it reacts with ammo any differently from any of our other under barrel attachments. Because if you're not familiar, when ammo drops on the ground from either like an elite or special zombie or from vulture aid, it won't go into your under barrel attachment's ammo count. And it also has this weird behavior where if I were to go ahead and just shoot a bunch of bullets out of my weapon, and then I go and use my under barrel crossbow, and I'm like, oh, I'm out of ammo for both of these, let's go buy it. With my crossbow under barrel attachment switched onto it, I'll get ammo for my crossbow, but then I switch back to my gun, I didn't get any new ammo. So whenever you're going to go buy ammo with this, like I recommend with any under barrel attachment, if you're going to be using it in zombies, make sure you just switch back to your normal weapon first, because you will still receive ammo for your under barrel attachment if you do it that way. So let's go ahead and test my bayonet theory. Does this do any more damage meleeing with it than normal? Let's just show a quick punch real quick. So that does that much damage to a normal zombie. Then if we just bring out our gun and gun butt with it, it did about close to half health. And then if we switch to our crossbow and have that out and then hit him with it, does it do any more? No, that looks about the same. All right, I knew that had a slight chance of working, but if it did, that would have been a crazy find. And how many zombies can we take out with just one of these? Ooh, just one. Okay. So only on round 5 does it really start to go down in damage. But it does still seem like it almost one-shot kills zombies just after impact. That actually didn't kill. Weird. Okay. I'm curious to see how this scales with Pack-a-Punch and if it actually gets that much stronger. So let's make our way on over to Pack-a-Punch and go get that started up. Before we get this Pack-a-Punch, how's this doing against our Doppelgast from the Pack-a-Punch machine? He's already at half health. Let's go ahead and snap him with it. That did basically nothing. Does this really fall off that hard? No, it still killed the zombie and knocked a bunch over. If anything, it might just be good for like disrupting a horde if you really need to get out of it so far. But we still got to see what it can do with some upgrades. And in case you're wondering why we decided to go ahead and play on Citadel Daymore when we have a brand new zombies map that just came out, is because on Citadel Daymore, we have these points of power traps all around the map, and these basically work like a free fire gobblegum. So let's go ahead and use it and see if we can also abuse it with this, and it looks like it. And it looks like it absolutely destroys as well. It actually looks so sick. Oh, and I didn't even realize, normally with this free fire gobblegum, it almost looks like some ethereal arrows come out of it when you're shooting, and we're actually shooting arrows now. It's fitting. And that was all without it even being pack-a-punched or upgraded. Let's go ahead and pack it. And it actually looks really good with this pack-a-punch camo. And just a quick tip, if you want to keep using these points of power here, I would definitely recommend that you don't talk to Craft over here by Quick Revive, because after you do it, it basically starts the Easter egg, and some of these are linked to the Easter egg, so you won't be able to use them for as long as you normally would if you talk to them. But let's get to cracking with this. Oh wait, maybe I should... Okay, we need to be way more careful than that, because we already knocked ourselves with it. We need to get PhD in pronto. But what I was going to say is we need to see how this is doing without us just spamming it in point of power real quick. So it's still one-shotting zombies. Can we kill a group of them? Let's throw a decoy. Go ahead and get on that. And let's shoot that there. Looks like it killed one, damaged a bunch of the others. If we're not using point of power or the free fire gobble gum, I don't know how useful this would be. So let's go ahead and work on picking up PhD. That way we don't have another accident. We just gotta grab these bottles. Let's go ahead and serve some drinks so we can have that PhD. Oh, there we go. Free PhD. Please let me out of here so I can enjoy it. Thank you, Frenzied, for saving my life. And if we're being completely honest with each other here, another reason I decided to come back to Citadel is I want to see if the oil trap method is still working for camo. So I brought in the new assault rifle, the Cypher 091, and I want to see if I can actually unlock camos while doing the oil trap method still. Because they could have been sneaky. They didn't say anything in the patch notes about nerfing the oil trap method, besides nerfing the incantation in their limited spawns. But it looks like it's still counting as critical kills as zombies walk into our fired oil. And now let's go ahead and see if I'm still doing self-explosive damage with this. Nope. All right. No loopholes. And how are we doing against this doppelgas now? How much damage is that? That was only 150 I just saw. Are you serious? Not good. But to be fair, we have not upgraded our rarity at all yet. Let's see if the damage gets any better with dead shot. Is it going to increase at all or does it not scale? Let's try it out on this new doppelgas. Looks like a bunch of 150s popping up still. What if we hit him in the head? 660. Okay, that's decent. But let's see, since our oil trap scales with our weapon rarity and our pack-a-punch, is it still doing enough to kill? Yep, definitely. But that zombie just walked right through it. Why? I'm not gonna sit at these oil traps for too long. I really just want to see a camo pop up. Please give me one. Oh, it still works for crits, that's for sure. I've been putting off going and getting rarity, but that's for a good reason. We have one more rat buddy to find, and if we go back down to the basement, they got a good chance of giving us an aether tool, so let's go grab it. Also grab quick revive while we're in the area, and let's clear the round out before we see our rat children. Ooh, an amalgam. Where'd he go? Oh, he's actually still alive and well. It's looking like we might have to hit each individual zombie with an arrow. Not very good for something that's supposed to be explosive. Does it really not scale in zombies? That would be extremely disappointing if it didn't. All right, rats, help me out. Purple aether tool. Oh, everything was purple. They got me. Deadwire, though. I guess we'll mess around with it for a little bit. And I'll take my crown. And just a little tip, in case you didn't know, even if you don't have any ammo in the point of power or low ammo, you can still just spam as many shots as you want. Let's bite the bullet, finally get this upgraded. We're going all the way up to purple. And our base damage with no upgrades was 600. What's this looking like? 1800. Okay. So it desperately needed that scaling. That's not bad. Death from above challenge should be easy for this. Let's see what the splash damage is looking like too. We'll hit that armored zombie. Didn't kill the armored zombie though, and it just kind of knocked everybody else over. The explosive damage on it is not looking too great, even after an upgrade, because we still got 0 kills on this trial. That's not good. I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way with bullets. What are we getting from that trial? Brain rot. Yeah, we'll take it. But since we have mentioned some ammo issues here with our Under Barrel attachments, I want to see if the melee macchiato augment, where we get a melee kill with it, if that's going to put any ammo back into it, or if that's strictly just for bullets. Looks like it just put bullets in my magazine. Like whenever I go to punch, it switches back to my normal weapon. Unfortunate. But we have another plan. What about our dead shot augment, dead again, where if we get a headshot or hit a crit, it's supposed to give us a bullet back in our mag. Oh, look at that. That works. If we're accurate with it, we can hang on to this. And if we're lucky enough, not gonna work 100% of the time. And how much damage are we doing for a crit? I guess we'll never know. We got to put this in the hands of somebody who's accurate. That was 1980. Is it doing the same amount on these zombies? I couldn't see that amount. Let's try again. We just got to get a good line of sight on this one of these amalgams heads. It might help if I take some of these zombies out. 1980 on the amalgam as well. Rip, dude. And I just saw some of the splash damage. Like, let's just shoot it right there. It's doing 70 to like 30. That is like laughably low. But I guess the whole point of it is to try to hit the bolt at whatever you're trying to kill. And it's probably more scaled towards multiplayer without really a thought about how it's going to do in zombies. Unfortunately. That's not going to stop us. We still have 2 pack-a-punch tiers to go, and we got to get this thing to legendary. But this has got me thinking a little bit. If the damage that our little crossbow attachment is doing is so tied to whatever weapon it's attached to, maybe we could be using one of the more higher damaging ARs like the AS Val and see if the damage goes up on that. 'Cause I never thought about like whatever weapon it's attached to, because when we used any of those like launcher under barrel attachments, they all seem to do pretty decently, or at least like the standard launcher did pretty decently on whatever weapon we had it on. And this weapon is not seeming the strongest right now, but I am trying to get this leveled up as we test out our crossbow, so that way I can have all my attachments for this weapon whenever I go like officially test it out. So maybe this is kind of an ass weapon and the attachment is suffering because of it. But now that's pack 2. 2300 damage to armor and to flesh. 3900 to the head. And against the body is 3600. That ain't terrible. It still seems like it takes a lot to take these zombies out. All right, we got enough salvage to get to legendary. How are we looking now? That's 5200 damage. And what about just to the body? 4800. We get like a 400 damage boost if we actually hit a crit. And something that is very telling, if we look at the damage that our weapon's doing, the oil trap has been known to actually scale with your weapon's damage. And right now, let's see how much damage it's doing without the crossbow attachment out. Ooh, hold on. Let's go down, I guess. Idiot. Obviously, I just went down there on purpose because I wanted to switch out our weapon for the AS Val and see if it's going to do any more damage now that we have a higher powered weapon. That's 5200 damage with a headshot, and a body shot is 4800. I think it's still about the same. Damn, I thought I was doing something. Thought I was onto something, but I think it is exactly the same no matter what weapon. And the splash damage still not very good, but we still got another pack-a-punch tier to get, so let's go ahead and save up for that and see what it can do at its maximum potential. All right, let's go ahead and get this to pack-a-punch 3, and let's destroy all these vermin. Actually, you know what? How is this doing against y'all? Still one tapping. Does this do enough splash damage to kill vermin? No. It's still only doing like 100. What about just to kill? It just did 14,000 damage. So the damage is there and it's good. It's only there in one shot if you can direct impact them with it. Well, you know what? Let's just pop our free fire gobblegum and give it a shot this entire round. Or at least for as long as this gobblegum is going to last us. Is that an amalgam? It is. So let's try one shot on him. That did not do really anything. It's almost like when you hit an amalgam, if it's not like in its head, it's only doing splash damage, even the impact. But with just impact shooting them, this is like an insta-kill. Like every zombie is going down immediately. It doesn't even seem like it matters if they got armor or not. They're just going down. So this paired with free fire is actually disgusting. We even just broke that amalgam's arm. And then we can go ahead and frenzied and just keep it moving. This is literally just an insta-kill attachment plus gobblegum. Speaking of insta-kill, look, there's like really no difference. Bam, bam. Same thing. But that free fire gobblegum did not last that long, and they're not that easy to get from drops. So unfortunately, I think this crossbow attachment is just a little lackluster. I don't know what more we could do with it to make it any better. Like, we got it fully upgraded. We tried switching to the highest damaging assault rifle. We even grabbed some augments to help us keep up with ammo, and it's just not really up to par. I feel like if it's a mistake with the splash damage on it and they can somehow increase that just in zombies and not increase it in multiplayer, because I feel like that would be hell, then we got something really good on our hands, because it one-shotting any normal zombie, armor or not, with the impact of the bolt is very good damage. But it really lacks when it comes to the special and elite zombies. And the most disappointing part about this attachment is that it being an attachment, I feel like almost writes off them putting in a crossbow to this game. Because we had a crossbow in Cold War, that was a lot of fun to use. And back in Modern Warfare 3 zombies, the crossbow was the meta. It was the entire meta for that game, where it wouldn't do any splash damage to yourself and it would just deal an insane amount of damage. And then that paired with like Maggle holding and like dead wire detonators just killed absolutely everything with ease. And I feel like they don't want a meta crushing weapon like that again, even if it is just in zombies. And I don't know why, but I guess it doesn't 100% write off the possibility of getting an actual crossbow in the game. Because I mean, we have rocket launchers and we have launcher under barrel attachments and we have drill charge under barrel attachments and smoke attachments. And we still have those lethals and tacticals. Actually, do we have drill charges? I don't even know. But to me, this kind of seems like a kind of reworked drill charge under barrel attachment where they made a great model for it and it looks really cool. And it's a really sick idea, but it works basically the same, just where it's going to do splash damage instead of, you know, shoot through to the other side of something. But I do want to make sure that I'm not just seeing things, right? Like this is one shot in zombies. Yeah, that was unarmored. There's an armored. There's a heavy zombie. One shot them too. And against the ghast. Okay, he just kind of juked me, but that was 9,000 damage, 9,600 damage, and it barely took a dent out of his health. It would be so different if this was like great against elites. I guess we can get a good amount of damage on it if we can hit a crit, but Doppelgas moves around way too much. Or if it like collided, that would just make it even better. I guess this might just be an insta-kill weapon where it can insta-kill zombies based on if you hit it with an impact, or if you actually use an insta-kill power-up, then that splash damage would really come in handy. But I'd say this attachment's probably only worth using here on this map, or if you got like a surplus of free fire gobblegums. Otherwise, kind of booty. But it does have its upsides. It's kind of fun. Actually, hold on. Every once in a while here, I'm actually getting the dead shot to give me our dead again perk, where it's going to give me another arrow back because I have an augment on for death perception, where even body shots have a chance to count as headshots. So maybe that splash damage not killing them would count as a crit hit, and it could give me an arrow back. Let's see. So I got one in the chamber, one in reserve. Let's just shoot one. That wasn't a crit. Didn't get one from the proc either. Let's try it again. Nope. Okay. All right. You're making me look dumb right now, crossbow. Listen, I'm trying to come up with a strat to make you look better, but I do want to keep this in mind just in case at some point they end up buffing death perception, because right now it's really like one of the more useless perks in the game. And if they give it a buff to where that headshot augment or the body shot headshot augment goes off more often, then that would make this attachment a little busted. So it does have the potential to be good and can do some good things. Like it's got some great stats whenever you can actually hit it on things, but it's just leaving a little bit to be desired. Like it's so close to being good. Oh, and there it is right there. I just shot in there, didn't get a crit, but when the explosive went off, it procced headshot damage on a random zombie and gave me an arrow. So it's possible, but not very practical, I'd say. I was really excited for this attachment to come out. Seeing it in all the promotional images in like the roadmap and everything, I'm like, oh, this looks sweet. I can't wait to bring it into zombies and use it. And it's just kind of like it definitely does a good amount of damage, but it's really not worth the attachment spot unless you're playing on Citadel and you can just use those points of power traps or those free fire gobblegums as much as you want. But keep in mind, like I just mentioned, if death perception ever gets a buff to that headshot augment, this thing is in the money. Or if they ever go ahead and buff the crossbow damage to scale a little bit more in zombies. But I think that about does it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate all your love and support, and I will see you in the next one. Later.